The hard work's been done, but it's not time to relax.
It's the last chance. No mistakes.
Second isn't an option. I'm here to win.
Only 48 points. I better watch my back.
Based on the Toyota 86 Sports Saloon, these cars run race-spec shocks, big brakes, Motec dash and Michelin race legs, along with the normal safety equipment.
Hi everyone, we're here at Hampton Downs for the final round of the Toyota 86 Championship. I'm Sam McNeil, and this weekend the biggest challenge facing the drivers is the weather. New Zealand is in the grip of a 1 in 100 year rainstorm, so the drivers will need all their skills on the track. It's been a fantastic season so far. Let's go back and have a look at the highs and the lows.
And in fact, it was 4 cars involved. Wide of turn 1, he just couldn't turn in. Oh no! And he's flipped it! Milligan turning in on his line and hits Lockwood, and then gets hit behind, and Lockwood in trouble.
Oh my goodness. Well, that was upside down very early, and then it's barrel roll.
Oh, and then gets hit! Oh, well, that says the signal. The rookie gets it wrong and spins it round. He just got too far wide. Nicely done by Reid Harker. Oh, drama. Ransley's off. Adams off. And something went wrong going into Toyota there. Involved with this, but Yardley did a very good job.
So after all that action, the point standings look like this. Ryan Yardley has a 74-point lead over Reid Harker. Not a lot with the conditions they face this weekend, and 225 points up for grabs. Michael Scott still in contention, and in the rookie battle, Jack Milligan needs to finish ahead of Brodie McConkey in all 3 races to take out the title.
Ryan Yardley stands tall against Reid Harker in the chase for the championship.
Yeah, we got a 74-point lead, but you know, it's not over till it's over. So I'm not going to be happy until I come out of the last race with the championship. So you know, I've got to keep focused, keep pushing, and I still want to go out there and get some wins this round. So mindset's still the same, still pushing as hard as I have previously. At the end of the day, you got to think about the bigger picture. It's not, you're not here just to win one race. You're here to win the championship. So you know, at some points when you don't have the pace, and there's no point fighting for, you know, a little position. So you know, I was told right back at the start by one of my mentors, Kenny Smith, that they won't remember who wins the race, but they'll remember who wins the championship. So you know, every time you go out, you think of the bigger picture. Although you want to win every race, you can't. But you know, keep focused, keep out of trouble, and then we're here, we're leading the championship. So big final rounds. We've had a couple of wet races already this year. We had a couple down in Chicago, one of them which we won. So the car's got good pace in the wet, we've got a good setup, and you know, I'm not too bothered if it's wet or dry, as long as it's one or the other. It becomes quite tricky when it's in the in-between kind of weather, and you're not sure what tyre to go on. So yeah, the weather might mix it up, but I'm ready for it.
I need to win, just go out there and win, and that's all I can do. It's going to take something from Ryan, a mistake from Ryan to bring us back into contention, but anything can happen. It looks like the conditions are going to be wet this weekend, so that'll mix it up a little bit more. We got the setup right at Tiratonga with the car, so I think we can definitely put that setup on for this weekend, and we'll be in with a good shot in those damp conditions. It's going to be a bit of a gamble if the conditions are semi-dry, semi-wet. You might have some guys on wet, some guys on slicks. So hopefully it's either one or the other, but that could mix things up more and work in our favour. It's going to take a bit of work on Ryan's part to bring us back into contention. There's no pressure on my shoulders. I've just got to go out there and do what I know I can do and win races. So I'm really looking forward to this weekend.
In qualifying, it was a welcome return for former champion Tom Alexander. Now a V8 specialist in New Zealand, he hasn't lost any of his pace in the 86 and clocked a 1:14.570 around Hampton Downs to take the pole. Just behind, and a good benchmark for Ryan Yardley, the young teenager from Christchurch was just 0.227 behind and will start on the front row, but more importantly, he was faster than Reid Harker, the man chasing him, by 0.4 of a second, Harker clocking a 1:15.064.
These cars are great to drive. I love this track as well, so it's good to be at the front with the boys. And obviously, you know, Ryan and Reid are in a championship fight, so we don't want to affect that. So best thing we can do is just get out front and try and run away and let those two boys fight behind me.
Qualifying second was a great start. Didn't quite have enough for Tom in the end there, but you know, front row start for the first and last races, so yeah, awesome start.
No, we missed the window with the setup a little bit. I think amongst changing from wet to dry, we just missed something, so missed the ball. So we'll tune it up for the races and tomorrow and see how we go.
6 drivers started the season going for the rookie title, and now, after 5 rounds, that's down to 2.
After Taupo, obviously coming back home to Ruapuna, and we had a good round down south, and that's sort of the turning point down south. I got my first win down there, which was really good for the team, and yeah, just need to keep putting my head down to really get this title. Obviously, I'm training hard back home, keeping really focused, you know, leading up to the weekend. Obviously, watching videos and that on my laptop, and just really keeping a good mindset coming into the weekend. Invercargill was obviously, you know, stand out for us. Obviously, Ryan with 2 wins, and me with the other one. But yeah, I obviously really enjoyed Invercargill. Yeah, me and Brody get along really well. Obviously, we have some good chats, and no, we're good mates. The mindset coming to this round is obviously to be consistent throughout the weekend, grab some good points, and take this rookie title.
We had a lot of points to make up from the first round, and we've slowly brought the gap down a bit. So hopefully we can have 3 good races this weekend and come out with the top spot. Ever since the start, I knew I had a chance, because I knew Jack was a quick driver, and I knew that from the CareVet scholarship that I was on par with him. So really, the first round, it was just learning the car, and ever since then we've slowly managed to pull some points back. Teretonga on the rain was a really good round for us. I mean, the last race I think we came from 10th to finish second, so that was a really good round with the rain. Oh, I actually love the wet, yeah. I think it would be an advantage in testing on Friday. We were 3rd quickest in the rain, so I wouldn't mind if the rain came down a little bit. I mean, yeah, of course, you want to be in front of your competition. We're on the outside, which is a slight disadvantage, but we're 1 row in front, so if we can get a good start, hopefully even come away with a podium.
Coming up, wet conditions, but who's going to reign in 2017 as both championships are on the line?
Welcome back to the Toyota 86 Championship. Well, the grid's been set and Ryan Yardley's on grid position 2. Let's go to Jonathan Green for all the action.
The grid then for race 1 sees Tom Alexander in pole. Championship leader Ryan Yardley is alongside him. Then it's Reid Harker, second in the championship and chasing Yardley. Then it's Brodie McConkey, who is chasing Jack Milligan, so he's out-qualified Milligan. Should be a good fight between them. Michael Scott will be amongst it too. Then it's Jacob Smith and Miles Cockram. A little further back, Connor Adam for International MS starts, alongside Jaden Ransley. Here we go then, the start of race 1. Blustery, windy conditions and a damp track. As Alexander gets away, and not a good start from Ryan Yardley at all. And in fact, Reid Harker is already on the inside past him. And into second place, McConkey now challenging Ryan Yardley as they go into turn 1 for the first time. Well, Yardley's going to have to really think about it now, because Reid Harker is in the perfect position to gain more points on him. 74 points the gap between the 2 leaders, but of course 75 for a win. So Ryan Yardley's got to be careful, but he's got to finish the race. Tom Alexander won't make any difference. He's the guest driver. But it's interesting, actually, that Tom Alexander is in this race, because he is a massive benchmark, having been a champion in TR86 before, so they all want to beat him, and Reid Harker will now, as they go into turn 5 for the first time, try to get ahead of Tom Alexander if he can give himself some space to get away from Ryan Yardley, who's still chasing hard in third place after bogging off the line. They head down 195k now, fifth gear into turn 6, dropping it down to about 130, but the exit of this corner is vital for the long run towards the first corner here as we go on board with Michael Scott. He's chasing Jack Milligan, the leader in the Rookie Cup, and Michael Scott just wanting to finish his season on a high after 5 second places and 2 thirds. Had it not been for that disaster at round 1, a big crash and all sorts of shenanigans and changing cars, Michael Scott would be in the hunt for the championship. As it is, he'll probably finish 3rd, but he'll want to finish Hampton Downs on a high. Meanwhile, Tom Alexander leading the way from Harker and Yardley. McConkey leading Jack Milligan, but look how close it is, because Michael Scott's at the back of this freight train as they go through 3. The Northland Toyota man has to go back on board with Milligan. Now he's chasing McConkey, and it's a bit tighter, 48 points between these two. Milligan's got to be careful, and he too is desperate, having won the scholarship at the beginning of the season, to win the rookie title. McConkey, though, has got better and better as the season has gone on. Milligan, a winner in the wet at Taratonga, so not frightened of these damp conditions, and it really has been atrocious here at Hampton Downs and all around the Auckland area. And if they put a wheel on the grass, it's very soppy out there, and they really don't want to risk that. You can see the standing water on the side as they come back up the hill, and they really, really have to be careful. But so far, nice and clean start to this one. And Tom Alexander, the guest driver, pulling away just slightly from Reid Harker. Very sensible drive so far by the number 18 Carevets man in 3rd place, Ryan Yardley. And he was, I thought, very impressive at Manfield, because Reid Harker took 3 wins out of 3 and really put the pressure on the young teenager from Christchurch, Ryan Yardley. But again, Yardley showing calmness and wisdom beyond his years, because he's keeping very calm. He's not challenging. He's actually having to hold off McConkey as well. Now, he doesn't want McConkey to come past. And again, McConkey is desperate to get past because Milligan's all over the back of him. So it's a very interesting situation as they head towards the hairpin at 5 again. And diving into this one. Great onboard shots give you exactly how they go from the top of the hill all the way down. It's a tricky corner, that. And then up through the gearbox, up to 5th gear towards the last complex, turn 6. Tom Alexander building on that lead just slightly. Reid Harker maintaining his position in 2nd. Reid Harker, the only man who can stop Ryan Yardley from taking the title. Will Carevets take both? And a little wheel on the grass there for a moment. I mentioned it earlier, Jack Milligan's got to be careful, and he played it to the hands of Michael Scott there, who's right behind, and Scott won't waste any time in getting by if he can. He's got nothing to lose, and he looks to the inside here as they head across the line and one more down into turn 1. 220 through here. Very fast indeed. And just bit by bit, the number 99, Nike Plus man, pulling away. Yes, Michael Scott thought about it. He got very close on the straight. Oh, that's a mistake. And offline goes Milligan, and that's a big mistake by Milligan. He tries to come back at 3. Scott's alongside him. Has he got him? Next, it's a right-hander, and he should have the better line, Michael Scott, and he does. Well, that was smart driving by the number 17. He made a mistake for sure on the exit of 2, got into a puddle, in fact, got offline, and then tried to defend the position at 3, but Michael Scott was already there. And quite rightly, Jack Milligan let him go, and he'll live to fight another day, because McConkey's up the road somewhat, and in fact putting a lot of pressure on Ryan Yardley. This is a really tough situation for Ryan Yardley. He's all over the back of the number 4, Reid Harker, but just making sure that Harker stays honest, so to speak, because if Harker makes a mistake, Yardley will be through and the championship will be pretty much over. That said, McConkey wants to get past if he can and get away from Jack Milligan and gain as many points on Milligan as possible. So it's a very interesting scenario as we go on board into turn 1 with Ryan Yardley. You can see he's probably a little faster than Reid Harker at the moment. He could have gone for a really more aggressive manoeuvre there, but he's just waiting his time, and I think he's probably quite happy just to stay in this 3rd position, because Tom Alexander out in the lead isn't making any difference to the championship. And you can see with that standing water just how tricky the conditions are on track. But so far, a nice clean race. Ryan Yardley all over the back of Reid Harker, and just trying to force him into a mistake, but not looking to overtake. McConkey is looking to overtake, but where? Time running out for the Albany Toyota man. And he's not going to do it around the outside at 5, I don't think. Great onboard shots here as we come down to the closing stages. Remember, a reverse grid for race 2 with a marble draw, and then the final feature race where more rain is expected. So this could be the best conditions of all for racing in. And I think Jack Milligan knows it, and the Corvette's man wants to get past Michael Scott before the end of this race, but time running out. They come back up the hill. Milligan's got another chance. He goes very wide there and high to get all the drive, and that's the way to do it. Up the hill to cross the line again, and this will be the final lap. They cross the line now. Tom Alexander leads the race. Reed Harker in the number 4 is in second place. Milligan all over the back of Scott, looks to the inside, now the outside, can't do it there. Slots back into position, but he's very close to Michael Scott. And this is great stuff. Now the 2 Christchurch men are going at it. And into turn 2 they go. Milligan turns it tight, avoids the water this time. Into turn 3 now. Good defensive driving by Michael Scott. Milligan started with a 48-point lead over Brodie McConkey, but Brodie will get some points back at him, and that's why Milligan is being as aggressive as he is in the closing stages on Michael Scott here. So then, down towards turn 5. Can he make a move up the inside? He's just not close enough, I don't think. He's got one more last chance now, going perhaps up the inside at turn 6. He does get good drive there. McConkey just ahead in the lead group, and it's going to be Tom Alexander, and I don't think Milligan's close enough, and he'll have to sit behind Scott for the rest of this race. And that means McConkey will get closer in the rookies' title chase against him. But there's still 2 more races to go from Hampton Downs, and more weather closing in. But Tom Alexander takes victory and fastest lap, a 1:14.682. Reed Harker, an important second place, holding off Ryan Yardley. McConkey takes 4th, and he wins the battle of the rookies as Jack Milligan can't get past Michael Scott. And a check on the results then. A win for the guest driver for the Lighting Plus team, Tom Alexander. Reed Harker, an important second place, then Yardley, McConkey, then Scott, Milligan, Smith, Adam, Cockram and Ransley.
Can't have much better, really, you know. I was a bit worried. I haven't done starting one of these for a couple of years now, so I was a bit worried getting it off the line, but had a good launch, had to defend a little bit from Reed at the start. His office pressures were a bit lower, so his car came on quite quick, but once the tyres came up to temp, you know, the thing was quick, and we just managed to do a consistent pace and walk away a little bit.
All we can do is go out there and finish as high as we can. Got a great start in that one, managed to get up the inside of Ryan, and was hunting Tom for the first couple laps, and then he built a bit of a gap, and I lost a bit of the draft, and Ryan tucked in behind me, but nevertheless, coming away with second is good points. Yeah, I don't think Ryan got the best start, and we got a real good start, so it was good to get up the inside of him and tuck in behind Tom, and yeah, just try push on and get the lead, but unfortunately Tom was a little faster than us, so he got the win and we got second, but yeah, as you said, finishing in front of Ryan, it's great.
Screwed up the start myself, and from there we were on a little bit of a back foot, but you know, to get another podium is great. We had good pace, maybe a little bit more than Reed at certain places, but wasn't able to capitalise on it, so another podium, which is a good start to the weekend. Not really thinking too much about points. Obviously, I'm driving a little bit more sensibly than maybe I would have if I wasn't, you know, so close in championship. But you know, I would have liked to get ahead of Reed, but didn't quite have the pace. So yeah, we'll see what the marble draw brings for race 2 and go from there.
I was just focused on getting a good start and keeping Jack behind, and he fortunately made a mistake for me, so I was just worrying about keeping up with the front bunch after that.
Points-wise, it's a 9-point advantage in your favour.
Yeah, so it's not quite enough really. If we do that every race, we probably need to bring out a big one, but we'll just see how it goes.
No, it wasn't the ideal start. Obviously, I made a mistake at turn 2 on the 3rd lap, which gained Michael in front of me, and then I battled away the whole race trying to get past him, but couldn't quite put him into a mistake.
It's only 9 points. What's the strategy now going into the final 2 races?
Just to be consistent, and obviously I need to finish in front of him now, but you know, it's still game on.
Coming up, it's absolutely game on between the rookies as they head towards race 2, and we head towards the championship finale.
Welcome back to the Toyota 86 Championship. Big news out of Toyota Racing is that they're creating a purpose-built motorsport facility right here at Hampton Downs, which will become the home for the Toyota Racing Series and the Toyota 86 Championship.
We've got a commitment from Toyota to build a number of new cars. We've purchased 20 new 86s. That we've got a club sport program, which is basically for a driver that wants to just come and do track days right through to club racing and Targas and other events. We've got 6 new 86 race cars that we're building, because we're on a field of 24 to 26 cars next year. Look, we've got 2 brand new cars available right now as we speak, and they're $78,000 plus GST. And that may seem like a bit of money when you look at a car at $40,000 odd, but that shows the sort of technology and the safety that goes into a car, whether it be the chrome moly roll cage, whether it be the Motec system, and yeah, there's a bunch that's built into it. A number of the dealers have got on board. Andrew McKenzie from Albany Toyota's bought 2 cars and running those. We've had Northland Toyota that's supported the program, and Bruce Miles Toyota that have also supported one of our younger drivers in the series. So the dealer support is critical to us, and certainly it's something we're looking to develop and build on. We've run a 6-round championship for the last 2 years, and I think that's been a good number to have. I think it's a category for young drivers to develop their skills, and it's without a doubt one of the best categories I've been involved in.
Motorsport is expensive. There's no going around, no way around that. But for me, it's never been easier. You've got a brand like Toyota, which is one of the richest car companies in the world, and Toyota New Zealand is putting their effort in behind junior guys. So for me, it's all about, if you want to do it, there's never been a better opportunity to do it. Pick up the phone, call the guys here, and they'll help structure a deal for you to get something together. They've got their network of dealers that they can talk to. They've also got sponsors, suppliers, and so on. So for me, it's never been easier. They haven't been here for 5 minutes. They've been now really, really active in this Toyota Racing Series for 12 years. They're not going to be here for 5 minutes. They're going to be here for the longevity. So it's a series you want to get involved with. And they're here. They've got telephones. You've got a telephone. So for me, it's just about picking that up, getting the connection, and then making it work from there. And the racing is fun. I'd love to be out there. I haven't actually raced one, but like I say, I've been lucky enough to drive one. The racing looks so close and super intense, and you can't help but have a smile on your face when you're watching it.
Now it's time for race 2, with the reverse top 6, meaning that Jack Milligan starts from pole. Let's go to Jonathan Green for all the action.
Great opportunity for Jack Milligan from pole, but Michael Scott, who challenged him last time out, is alongside him. Then it's Brodie McConkey, who has to get ahead of Milligan, and Ryan Yardley rounds out the second row. Reed Harker and Tom Alexander start on row 3, and then it's Jacob Smith for Tony Richards Toyota, alongside him for the International Motorsport team, Connor Adam. And then at the back, Miles Cockram and Jaden Ransley. 10-lap race 2 coming up. Again, damp conditions. What can Milligan do from the start? Away they go. Well, Milligan got good grip there, and he's got away from Michael Scott as they go into turn 1. Nicely done by the Caravets man. Reed Harker got a good start too. He's in third as they bounce over the curves. Harker looking to the inside and looking to try and get past Michael Scott into turn 2, and he does it. Nicely done by Reed Harker. Very aggressive indeed, but he needs to be. He needs to win this race, and Michael Scott got napping somewhat there, the Northland Toyota man. But that was a very aggressive manoeuvre by Reed Harker. He got good drive out of turn 1 and went for it. Nice to see. Meanwhile, Ryan Yardley is in a battle he doesn't want to be in with Brodie McConkey. Drops back and now looks to the inside. Whoa, that was great stuff by Ryan Yardley. What an overtake, and now you understand why he's leading the championship. He loses drive, though, on the exit, and Michael Scott just passes by him. But great manoeuvre, though, by Ryan Yardley as to the outside. Oh, no, I don't think he saw Tom Alexander McConkey there, and he's banged into Tom Alexander as they were going into 6, and there's damage to the Castrol car of Brodie McConkey. A disaster. And McConkey is going McWonky because that car is going sideways now, and he is out of this race and out of his championship hopes at the worst possible. I think he just got unsighted. He went to the outside to try and get a line. Watch this from on board with Cockram. Yeah, he did not see Alexander, I don't think. Certainly wasn't trying to push Alexander out, and he's come off worst, and that rear wheel bent badly, and sadly Brodie McConkey, who's had a brilliant season, now has to watch as his arch rival, the man leading the race, Jack Milligan of Christchurch, will march on towards victory in the Rookie Cup. Now, what will Reed Harker do? Because Harker wants by, and wants the win of this race if he keeps his hopes against the other Cairvets car of Ryan Yardley. They are out of 4 now towards 5. And you can see how tight it is. You can see in the mirrors how tight it is as Michael Scott comes alongside Reid Harker now. Harker takes the inside line. Scott looking for a podium here, if not a win. And Milligan just gets very high and wide there on the exit of 5. The wipers on. Is it about to rain again? Yes, spots of rain. Now this is going to add a little bit more drama to proceedings. Harker looks to the inside as Milligan makes a mistake as they go through 6, and a big mistake as Harker holds his line and now surely will drive and power on through, and he does. So Reid Harker takes the lead, or does he? Because they're side by side now, coming towards the line. Great race, and now the rain's starting to fall. They're still side by side as they cross the line. But Reid Harker will have the better line into race 1 and does take the lead. So Jack Milligan takes a quick breath, I'm sure, as they head down towards turn 2, and now the rain's starting to fall heavily. Michael Scott on board with the 3rd place man. The conditions really getting slick out there now. And you can see Jack Milligan struggling to stay on the asphalt as they come into 4, and he's got massive pressure from the very experienced Michael Scott, who takes no prisoners for sure.
And it's starting to get challenging out there. There's a few showers.
Very tough indeed, and Reid Harker using this position to pull away. Ryan Yardley just maintaining 4th place, trying to stay out of trouble, I'm sure. And Yardley just keeping a watchful eye on the 3 men in front of him, as Reid Harker knows he has to win this race to keep the championship alive. Meanwhile, Michael Scott going to put more pressure on Jack Milligan. Milligan not afraid of the wet. He won at Teretonga, remember? And it was pretty atrocious there too. In fact, far worse than conditions are at the moment. But Reid Harker's got this one in the bag at the moment. He crosses the line, and look at the lead he's got now. He's used these wet conditions to his advantage. Michael Scott looks to the outside at turn 1. Even in these wet conditions, they're almost at 200k through there. And Michael Scott gets a little too close for comfort there and almost loses it. You heard the screech of the tyres underneath him. And that 86 was protesting. Michael putting too much pressure perhaps on Jack Milligan, and Jack holding off the pressure for now. Scott, though, still trying to get past. Great racing, and this time of the year when everybody's honed their racecraft and wants to go out in their season on a high. 19 drivers started the championship, and Michael Scott's pushing Milligan round now. 100,000 in prize money, as this series has gone from strength to strength. It's been a real combination of youth and experience, just what the organisers wanted. And we've certainly had some great racing throughout this season. And I think here at Hampton Downs, we're getting a classic example of it as we go back on board with the Northland Toyota man. Back up the hill towards the start-finish. And perhaps he'll look to try and make a move up the inside, but as you can see, Milligan's covering that nicely. Keeps to the middle of the track to make sure he can't come around the outside either. And that's good driving by both men. Scott knowing that he can't get round there, and Milligan using all the track and more to hold him off. Scott, though, just seemingly faster, and he's trying to take the high and wide line. He's trying to force Milligan into a mistake here, and in these conditions, that is so easy to do. And you can see that Milligan is sideways through 3. Well, if you hadn't seen the sponsorship for Cairvets, we got a good look at it there. Wow! Good drive again by Scott out of 4. They're going to be side by side as they come into 5. And the conditions getting wetter and wetter. And Milligan goes way too deep, and that has pretty much ended that battle in Scott's favour. Milligan trying to defend, but losing out to Michael Scott in a very aggressive battle. And now Milligan and Yardley, the two teammates, are with each other, and Milligan really struggling to hold on to his car in these very, very wet conditions. You can see the rear end of that car sliding round. Ryan Yardley can see everything that his teammate is doing, and he knows he's got to be very careful. Now, this is an absolutely critical moment in his championship. If he slides off now, Yardley, he could end everything after all the hard work he's done. But so far, Ryan Yardley, you heard what he said. Kenny Smith says they never remember the winners of any race. They only remember the guy that wins the championship. Good, wise words from Kenny Smith, one of the greats of New Zealand racing, and he's here today to watch Ryan Yardley as conditions get worse here at Hampton Downs. Yardley, every corner now will count for him. His teammates made a few mistakes, lost out to Michael Scott and Harker. Reed Harker is going to march on. Here he is. And he too is struggling in these wet conditions. But he has to win this race into turn 5 for the last time, the number 4. And look how gingerly he's going through the hairpin. He'll get on the power slowly but surely and doesn't get too aggressive. But look at the gap he's got, and the conditions just getting worse and worse. And Reed Harker brings his car into the last complex for the last time. And an important win, this one, for Reed Harker, keeping the championship alive. But with McConkey out of this race, the Rookie Cup will now surely go to Jack Milligan. And up the hill for the final time comes the number 4 of Reed Harker as he takes his 7th win of the season. In tough conditions here at Hampton Downs, and that's the gap he had over Michael Scott, who takes an excellent 2nd place. Milligan will take 3rd. Ryan Yardley will cross the line in 4th position. And confirmation of the result then, Reed Harker with victory over Michael Scott, then Jack Milligan 3rd, Yardley, Cockram it was in 5th, then Connor Adam, Ransley Smith, Alexander and McConkey DNF.
Really happy with the car and the race. The guys have got the car hooked up for the weekend now, and looking forward to the 3rd race.
You can't do anything more but win races now, can you?
That's exactly right. That was the goal coming into the weekend, is just go out there and win and just see how many points we can claw back, and you know, the rest is out of our control.
Reed had a blinder of a start and sort of rubbed panels, and he came off better off there, and then it was just hunting down Jack.
Jack Milligan, Toyota Racing Series rookie champion.
Thank you. It's been a good season, and I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Unfortunately, Brodie had a problem on the first lap. Were you aware that he was in the pits and out of the championship?
No, I actually had no idea until we got in after the race.
Coming up, it's the final race of the series for the Toyota 86 Championship, with the title still on the line.
Welcome back to the final race of the Toyota 86 Championship. Ryan Yardley sits in the box seat starting from grid position 2, but Reed Harker will be doing everything he can to spoil the party. Let's go to Jonathan Green for all the action.
The grid then for the final race of the year sees Tom Alexander in pole position, and then it's Ryan Yardley ahead of Brodie McConkey and Jack Milligan. Starts on row 2. Then row 3 sees Michael Scott and Reed Harker side by side, and then behind them, Jacob Smith in the number 27 Tony Richards Toyota, and the Cockram Motor Group Miles Cockram alongside him. Then at the back, it's Connor Adam and Jaden Ransley for Harcourts one more time. Well, very wet conditions for the start of this one. Got to get the grip off the line. Away they go, and not a good start at all by Tom Alexander. In fact, the Vets boys have got well away. Ryan Yardley takes the lead, and right behind him, Jack Milligan. Superbly done, and a superb start from the second row from Jack Milligan. It's a Vets 1-2, just as they planned. Reed Harker in 3rd, Brodie McConkey just there in 4th place, and Alexander slots in to 5th place as they go into turn 2. Treacherous conditions here at Hampton Downs for the final race. Into turn 3 they go. Oh, mistake there by Tom Alexander in 5th. And he goes off into the dirt and mud, but somehow gathers it all together and is still there, but loses a place to Michael Scott as they head out towards turn 4. They're side by side now as we look back from Tom Alexander. Miles Cockram right behind. Big moment then for the former champion. But as we look from Miles Cockram's point of view, Alexander still back on track just about. And amazingly, he only lost 1 place in that excursion. So a mistake at the start and an off at 3. But Alexander still in the hunt as they head through turn 6 now. And everybody's still gauging just how much grip there is out there. Good start from the Vets boys, though. Reed Harker going high and wide. Try and get as much drive as he can as we go on board with Tom Alexander. He's right behind Michael Scott right now. Can he make up some places in the Lighting Plus car? He was going to race at Manfield, was Tom as a guest driver there, but he was doing V8s, then got a penalty in qualifying, and so didn't actually take part. So he really wants to do well here this weekend for the Lighting Plus team, and he's certainly putting on a show so far as he goes past Michael Scott. Yes, got great drive through 1 there, and you can hear as we go on board with him just how he uses the throttle very carefully in these treacherous conditions, and that was a lovely overtake. And there's no question that the V8s have done him no harm, just fettling that throttle as he goes through, as McConkey gets it wrong out of 5 and into the dirt, splashing his way back on track, but losing out on a couple of places there. So the number 23 Castrol Toyota, who also had a big off as he came together with Alexander in race 2, that lost him the rookie crown. And back with Tom Alexander, who did get ahead of Michael Scott. Now, just how far can Alexander go, I wonder? Made 2 major mistakes so far, but as he knows, last race of the season, he'll want to go out on a high, as do all the drivers here. Tom's got nothing to prove. He's won this championship before, but he wants to show these youngsters why he was a champion, and he's certainly putting on a great performance in these wet conditions. Up the hill one more time they come. This a longer 15-lap race, so pacing yourself is also all important. And Ryan Yardley just wants to go out on a high, but he won't take any risks for sure. And in fact, actually, Jack Milligan doing a good job of shadowing him and protecting his lead, to be fair. And Reid Harker knows it all too well, and he's got to be careful too. If he gets too racy on Milligan, it could all come to naught. And so the Carevets boys doing exactly what they needed to do, and they couldn't have really scripted this better. But to be fair, Ryan Yardley has been the picture of consistency as Reid Harker makes his move at 4. That was beautifully done by the number 4. Excellent overtake, and Reid Harker showing no signs of nerves there. Excellently done, and now he goes in pursuit of his arch rival from all season long, Ryan Yardley. It's an interesting battle, this, because Reid Harker's won more races, a lot more races than Ryan Yardley. But Yardley has just been the picture of consistency. Meanwhile, back with Tom Alexander, and he's all over Jack Milligan now. So Alexander has done a very good job of getting up with the leaders. Count him out for a win. He's dealing with the conditions better than Milligan in front of him, who just bounces a wheel off the curb there for a second and into the dirt, splashing it in Alexander's face. Jacob Smith and Miles Cockram in a good battle too, towards the back. But at the front, it's Ryan Yardley. Here comes Reid Harker on the outside, high and wide, and Alexander also getting past Jack Milligan. Well, he was brilliant round the outside of turn 1 last time out, and I think he might do it again. He's side by side with Milligan, very close indeed. And he can't get past the Christchurch man and slots in behind him. Now, this is where he went off earlier in the race, but holds it together this time. But Alexander, certainly the fastest man on track at the moment. And Milligan's got his work cut out to hold him off for sure. Harker takes a wide line. Yardley getting away at the front. Alexander looking for his next opportunity. Coming up is 5. Dive to the inside, perhaps? No, Milligan's got it covered. Milligan showing great racecraft, especially against the experience of Tom Alexander. Oh, and a crash at the back! And that's Miles Cockram and Jacob Smith. Well, they were fighting across the line last time out, and they've come to blows at 5. Both cars getting going again, but as you can see, right at the back now, Ransley going through, McConkey going through, and I don't know how bad the damage is. Here's another look at the start, and yeah, Alexander just was nowhere off the line. Look, 1, 2, 3 places from pole 4, and down to 5th place before almost 6th place. I think he just about gets Scott. And here's that accident. Smith coming up the inside, and I don't know where Cockram was turning in there, but there you go. He was high and wide, and Smith had no alternative. And here's a look from McConkey. Cockram way offline, and Smith runs out of road. So racing incident, that one. McConkey goes through, no problems for them. Meanwhile, Ryan Yardley still leading this race, but the lights are on for Reid Harker as the championship comes down to a fitting end to what has been the best season ever of the Toyota 86 Championship. Youngsters, experienced drivers, ex-V8ers, guys coming back from single-seaters. Tom Alexander, a former champion, coming back from V8s. It's been a cracking year, and Tom Alexander muscled his way through past Jack Milligan there, and he may be a new champion, Milligan, but no respect from Alexander there. And Milligan says, okay, you take it if you want it that bad. And the guest driver is on a mission for sure in the closing stages of the final race of the series. Into turn 5, Reid Harker. Clear sight now of Ryan Yardley. But Tom Alexander is coming and coming fast. Meanwhile, Jaden Ransley's all over the back of Brodie McConkey in the closing stages. Well, we knew we'd get a grandstand finish, and the conditions have played their part. And Alexander looking for grip on the high and wide line there, and he'll try to get as much drive as he can up the hill, and that was a good corner from Tom Alexander. Good track knowledge there as he creeps ever closer to Reid Harker up the hill. We go on board now with the 99. And look at the drive he got. Yes, brilliant. Harker closes the door. And that's great throttle control by Alexander. He just fettled it there through there, and that's, look what he's done. That was superbly done by Alexander, and surely he's got turn 2, and he gets past Reid Harker. Well, there's the experience showing, because that was superb by Tom Alexander. He set him up nicely at turn 1, just carefully held that inside line without putting the power on too early, and then exited well, got the drive better than Harker, and then made his way up the inside. Textbook stuff then, as Harker now has to look at the back of Tom Alexander's car. Will he make one more attempt to try and get past? Or will he hope that Yardley has a problem and he can march on home? Meanwhile, Jaden Ransley is looking very closely at the Castrol Toyota of the number 23. Now, McConkey wants to finish this race for sure after ending his hopes of the title in the Rookie Championship in race 2. Still damage to Miles Cockrum's car, but he's circulating okay, but losing a little bit of ground there. McConkey, though, is in trouble, and Jaden Ransley knows it. And Ransley, the youngest driver in the championship, would love to beat McConkey, who's been vying for the rookie title all year long. And everybody wants to get that end-of-term feeling, that end-of-school feeling, that you want to finish on a high. And that's exactly what Tom Alexander is feeling, because Ryan Yardley says, if you want it that bad, mate, these conditions aren't going to make me fight with you. So you go, my friend. And Tom Alexander has done just that. He doesn't have to worry about the championship, does Tom? And after 2 massive mistakes, remember, where he completely bogged off the line and then went off at 3, Tom Alexander leads this race. Ryan Yardley is second and Reid Harker is in third. Well, I'm really impressed with Ryan Yardley because he's just stayed cool. And you can see as we go on board with him just how cool he looks in his mirrors, and well he might, because his arch rival is right there. But Yardley just taking care in the Corvette's car to do what he does best, which is circulate and not create any dramas. Meanwhile, Milligan is trying to create a drama for Reid Harker in third place. Milligan currently in 4th. Here is that battle. A little bit of a slide there by the number 4. Harker still pushing hard in the closing stages. You can see the back end of that car getting out of shape, and oh, both of them are. And Milligan enjoying this one, I think, and both of them getting completely sideways out of the exit 6. Back up the hill as the laps drop away here in this 15-lap finale. One more lap complete then. Tom Alexander leads this race. Reid Harker holding off Milligan for all he can, but they're slip-sliding around the Hampton Downs circuit. It really is atrocious out there, and they really are on an ice skating ring on roller skates at the moment. Now, Ransley's got one more chance and one more bite maybe at Brodie McConkey. McConkey trying to hold him off, but he too is going sideways. Ransley out of 3. The Harcourt's man in the 53. And a mistake by McConkey there, for sure. Does this play into the hands of Ransley? Not this time as they head out of 4. Ransley certainly putting pressure on Brodie McConkey, who struggled in this race in these conditions. The car probably not set up the way he wanted to after that crash. And Ransley knows it. McConkey hanging on for dear life in the Castrol Toyota. Ransley looking to pounce. In front of them, Michael Scott of Christchurch. Ransley just not close enough this time. And he'll try to work on maybe making an overtake into 2 again, possibly at 1, but actually he's got good drive and maybe he's got a chance at turn 1 here. And Michael Scott might even play a role. Back with Reid Harker, who's got Milligan all over the back of him again. Both of them have lost ground to Ryan Yardley, and Harker hanging on for dear life now as everybody really is struggling to get any kind of grip out there. Oh, this is tight between these two. Really good racing, and final race of the season. Everybody wants a good result. And Ransley wants the scalp of McConkey for sure. And he's got a chance now. Oh, and McConkey goes wide again for the second time in this race. And he's high and wide into the dirt. Oh, no! Oh, that was a big moment. Big moment for Michael Scott. And sure enough, well, I think McConkey just aquaplaned once he went off track. And now he's beached it. Here's another look. He does. He gets onto the dirt. Now watch this. Bounces into the puddle. And now he's just literally a powerboat. And Michael Scott somehow avoided him. Here's another look at it. Yep, he is just a passenger at this point, and somehow Scott just hits the brakes. Ransley goes through, but I don't think Michael Scott will mind losing that place, because that would have been a longer end to the weekend for Michael Scott if McConkey had hit him. That's for sure. And meanwhile, Tom Alexander will start the final lap. Ryan Yardley, more importantly for the Care Vets team, the man who won the rookie title this time last year, is marching on towards a more famous victory as he will take the overall title. The teenager from Christchurch. What a story this has been. Like so many teenagers here in New Zealand, he started off in karting, did 6 years of karting before moving up to Formula Ford. He did 2 seasons in Formula Ford and then jumped into the tin tops of 86, where immediately he was quick alongside Michael Scott. He took the rookie title last year, and then this year there's been no stopping him. He's been the picture of consistency and maturity. His racecraft under pressure when he could have gone for wins and been more aggressive. He decided to take podiums, and as Kenny Smith advised him, not worry about the wins, just worry about taking the title. Tom Alexander in the Lighting Plus car will come out of the last corner, and he'll head to victory. And that's a fitting end to Tom Alexander's year too, coming back to a championship he's already won, but proving to these youngsters he's just as fast as ever. So congratulations after that terrible start from pole position. There's the checkered flag for Tom Alexander. But coming towards the line, it's the new champion of 86, flying Ryan Yardley, as Keith Houston and his team can celebrate now, because it's a 1-2 for Care Vets as Jack Milligan takes the rookie title too. What a year for this team. And confirmation of the results then, Tom Alexander with the win ahead of Ryan Yardley, the new champion. Reid Harker did his best in third, then Milligan, Ransley, Scott, Adam, Cockram, Smith and McConkey.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for everything.
Ryan Yardley from rookie champion to overall champion. Congratulations.
Yeah, cheers, thank you. Couldn't ask for much more, to be honest. So, it was a big weekend and just had to keep my cool, and yeah, to finish off with the podium in the last race is awesome. So, track started dry at the end there, but just had to keep it on track and bring it home. So, awesome result. Big thanks to Care Vets and Keith Houston. Wouldn't be able to do it with them and with the team. It's been an awesome 2 seasons with them, and can't thank them enough. Yeah, I was a bit more nervous about the whole, points, how the points were going to work out. It was good that we were all on the same tyre, so there was no mixed strategy going on. So, it was good we were on the same tyre and just put my head down and keep charging on. So, awesome result for the team, and yeah, pretty stoked.
Tough race, Red, and at the end of the day, just not enough points left.
No, that's right. We did all we could from 6th. We didn't quite have the pace towards the end. I think we set the car up for the start of the race so we could make some positions and hopefully hold out the guys behind, and we made a few spots, but it wasn't enough. But nonetheless, really happy with how our season went. Most race wins, most poles, so we can't be too unhappy with that.
Well, Tom, what a great way to wrap up a weekend.
Yeah, it's obviously great to jump back after the disappointment of race 2 to finish weekend off like that. Obviously, shocker of a start, just first start in the race in those ever, so just too much wheel spin. It's just sat there, got swamped by a few boys, but the car was quick. Again, Care Vets boys, Gareth got the car hooked up, so the thing was fast. Good fights for the field. It was a lot of fun coming back through. I haven't had that much fun in a while, so no, it was a good weekend overall.
A look at the final standings then. Ryan Yardley with the championship, winning by 53 points ahead of Reid Harker. Scott is 3rd, Jack Milligan, the rookie champion, 4th, then Smith 5th, and McConkey 6th.
Ryan Yardley, Toyota 86 Series champion. How does that feel?
It feels mega. It's awesome. That's been the goal for the whole season. Win the rookie last year, and now to win the overall one this year has been unbelievable, especially to do it with Team Care Vets. So big thanks to Keith Houston and Care Vets for this opportunity to race with them for the last 2 years. Yeah, it just feels amazing.
And I get that it's very fresh, but what do you want to do next after 86?
Yeah, you know, I haven't got nothing planned just yet. You know, we'll see what happens. Maybe back in one of these cars next year, I don't know. I'd like to head overseas and do some racing over there, but who knows? Just concentrate on this championship, and we got this one out of the way now, and then we'll enjoy this, and then figure out something to do.
Great work, congratulations. So that wraps up the Toyota 86 Championship with Ryan Yardley crowned the champion. If you want to be on the grid next season or you want to own a car, go online to toyotaracing.co.nz to inquire. Until then, we'll see you next season.